Libra, welcome to your weekly reading for July 18th to the 24th. Let's get started for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and see what messages we have for the week ahead. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so just take the messages that do, leave the rest behind. Also, check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising positions. Okay, for Libra. Let's see here. What are the messages for Libra's week? Starting here, what is the major theme of the energy surrounding Libra this coming week? Ooh, that came up beautifully. Oh my God, and that one slipped out. Okay, so we've got two interesting ones here for you. You've got Let It Go and Divine Matrix. Very interesting. Let me set these out here for you so you can look at them. The first one that came out for you, the Let It Go card, is, pretty self-explanatory. There's something that you need to release, Libra. And we see the Divine Matrix coming up as well, card 44, which is a signal to us that whatever it is that you're being guided to let go of is something that is sort of part of the bigger picture. Okay, so really learning to trust how things unfold. So whatever it is that you're letting go, it may be something that you're attached to, and that you're sort of being guided to release it, and to release the idea that you have to control how things happen. The how is not up to us. The how is often part of this Divine Matrix, okay? Which is sort of this idea that we are weaving our dreams into the fabric of this reality that we live in through synchronicities and through trusting that all will be well. As we take action towards things, we don't know how it's going to go. The outcome is usually not something we can predict or have any control over. We just sort of do what we feel we want to do, and then we have to trust that things will sort of work out in a way that will teach us something, move us forward, provide different options, what have you, right? It's this idea, this Divine Matrix card is again sort of pointing us towards the idea of those synchronicities. And that, have you ever stopped to wonder and ask yourself how many things had to happen in order for you to be exactly right where you are right now, in the relationships that you have, in the environment that you're in, with the opportunities that are being presented to you. It's very interesting. And these are things that we don't really have control over the outcome. We have this ability to control our choices and our reactions and responses to things. And that in and of itself creates this cause and effect loop. You know what I mean? But this idea that we can somehow control outcomes is beyond our ability to do. Outcomes sometimes take the shape and form of things that may surprise us, because maybe we didn't realize that there was a huge mountain behind that little molehill. Do you know what I mean? And that you may be sort of being redirected divinely, divine redirection here to get you on a certain path that you may have limited beliefs around. So you might not have even thought that that was an option for you, right? That's what I'm talking about here. This idea of letting go and surrendering to the idea of this Divine Matrix. The other way we can let go is through forgiveness, right? By releasing resentments and anger. So we can let go in the idea of not trying to control outcomes. We can also let go of things we're hanging on to, right? Things that need forgiveness, things that need us to say no, things that need us to engage more. You know what I mean? Like, this is an interesting two cards for you to receive right at the beginning here, Libra, because no matter how you slice it, the message here for you is to surrender. By letting go and by sort of surrendering to receive, letting go to receive. Letting go to receive is sort of the vibe of your reading this week. It's very interesting. Let's set these aside and put our little fellows here. And then let's jump into the I was going to say the tarot cards to see what gift could you be giving yourself by letting go? You know what I mean? What gift could you be giving yourself by letting go? If you trust, what can you receive through that? Oh, wow. Hello, 10 of Cups. This is fantastic, Libra. I mean, this is really a time of surrendering control to receive ultimate emotional satisfaction. You can't misinterpret that. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Oops. Yep, and there's the letting go. 6 of Swords fell on the floor. So this is you sort of surrendering by getting in the boat and saying, I surrender. I'm out of here. I'm letting go of these past stories. I'm letting go of these limited beliefs that say I have to live in a certain way or live with a certain mindset or a certain perspective or with certain people or certain opportunities. It's very interesting when you see this come out. You know, you can't really make this up. Let's get the rest of your cards out, Libra. 9 of Swords. See, you've got to let this go. This worry, this anxiety, this forecasting worst case scenarios, very limited perspective that only focuses on how things are going to go wrong, horribly wrong, not just wrong, but horribly wrong. And so this is interesting. This is really showing us where you need to let go and trust that by shifting your perspective, you shift so much. Our perspective is everything. You know, it's very interesting to consider, Libra, when you think about how the perspective that we hold can end up sort of making or breaking our lives. Like if we hold this perspective that everything is going to be a struggle and competition and fearful and we're going to be anxious and it's going to be an uphill battle, that will be what your mind focuses on in the world, right? Like when you leave the house, that will be what you focus on, or all the risks and dangers around you, instead of all of the opportunities and abundance. It's up to you how you frame things, right? I see the King, of Rods on the bottom of the deck here. And so your first row is telling me that you need to sort of take this week to consider releasing these mental traps, and by getting distance from them and creating a new mindset around abundance, joy, fulfillment, happiness. This is all possible. Everything is possible, right? It's an infinite universe. So anything you can think of is possible. So why not focus your energies and your thoughts and your focus on something fulfilling, right? Instead of something that feels like a nightmare. With this nine of Swords always feels like a nightmare to me. Now, why is it so interesting that the King of Wands is on the bottom of the deck? I said that and I didn't follow through with what I meant by that. So the King of Rods on the bottom of the deck tells me that we need to be more compassionate and almost less assertive, because right now you could explode emotionally, right? Because it's almost like there is too much ambition towards something that's not serving you. And it's like you're trying to control the outcomes. Like we just talked about, the outcomes are not within our control. You might be chasing something with everything that's in you, and it's not working out, and that might be saving you from something. But we rarely think that way. Sometimes when things don't work out, we just give up, or we think, well, why should I even bother? Instead of thinking, maybe that didn't work out because there is a whole mountain range back there that I'm only seeing the hill in front of because of my perspective. But if I just keep walking and trusting that I'll find my path without trying to force it, then you're going to see that mountain range and you're going to understand, oh, okay, no wonder that didn't work out. That didn't work out because that wasn't meant for me. There's something greater meant for me. There's a higher purpose meant for me than just what I was limited in my limited thinking, I imagined. There's the King of Cups, again, surrendering drama, rising above that drama, right? There's the Seven of Swords in reverse. We're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not convincing ourselves of things that are limited and that are fear-based, right? Or limited in the sense that it's like you don't think it's possible in some way. It's like you've decided that it's not possible to achieve emotional fulfillment and to sort of stop thinking that way. You know what I mean? There's the Judgment card. There's another 7. So you have a choice this week. And there's the Devil who's whispering in your ear saying, hey, emotional fulfillment, that's not possible. Life is about struggle. So you just stay in your comfort zone and never mind what this lady is talking about. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's interesting. You have a choice. You always have a choice as to how you respond or react to things. And there's the 9 of Cups in reverse now on the bottom of the deck, and Justice right behind it, Libra, which is your card. It's interesting when the Judgment card shows up like we see here. I can't help but wonder if you're on the precipice of an awakening. You're on the brink of self-realization, and that's right when we need to push past any of those limiting beliefs, because it's like we're so close to understanding something that has been sort of a mystery up until now, and it's created a lot of fear almost in your energy. And it's like, will you push past that, or will you listen to the lies that your anxiety is telling you? You know what I mean? That 7 of Swords in reverse is a moment where I really feel like it's like your fear is lying to you, your anxiety is lying to you. This is a time where really being vulnerable will serve you, and really like moving forward towards what feels true, not what feels scary. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. I suppose in some instances what is scary is the truth. But what I'm feeling here is that fear is holding you back from something that is really, really emotionally fulfilling and positive, and could actually, for some of you, involve a very strong love connection. You know what I mean? For some of you, that 10 of Cups could involve you really stepping into a very harmonious love relationship, or a divine connection that allows for expansion and harmony and peace and so many good things that sometimes we think are outside of our ability to achieve. But it's right here. It's right there. And I can't help but think that Devil card is here because it's sort of like, what are you going to listen to? What are you going to allow to expand? The fear, that grip of fear that hangs on to us and keeps us trapped in our own stories? Or are you going to allow yourself to sort of let go of that and be free of that? It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Let's see what the final sort of guidance is here for Libra right now. For Libra, what is the highest guidance for Libra? Let yourself feel all your emotions is coming out for you, Libra. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. Look at that rainbow right there in the 10 of Cups that came out right at the beginning for you. And I can't help but think that Divine Matrix card is trying to get you to see the signs and synchronicities that could be lining you up towards something if you were open to it, right? That's a question to ask yourself. If I was feeling open, secure, and free, what would I do? Oh, I meant to look at the bottom of the deck, but now I'm reshuffling. Socialize or join in. So that's the other card coming through. I ended up shuffling instead of looking at the bottom. Make healthy and supportive new friendships and connections by getting involved with a group of like-minded people. So you might need to step outside of where you're currently feeling limited like the Six of Swords said, to get in the boat, let go of where you were, and move towards something else. Now I'll look at the bottom of the deck, and we see here answered prayers. All your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support. Will you allow that? And notice that the colors here are blue, purple, and green. So that makes me think third eye, crown chakra, and heart chakra. So by opening your heart and being vulnerable, you're tapping into that divine connection, and that will lead you to understand what's coming through your intuition, through those feelings, through a genuine understanding of the self. And I can't help but think that self-care is going to be paramount for you this week, Libra. Really letting things go. You're redefining things this week. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like a personal reading, the link for that is in the description below. I'm sending you so much love and light, Libra. Take care.